Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today we're actually going to change the switch. This is actually a dimmer switch that you can actually control a light fixture to make it brighter or dimmer, and this is just your off and on switch. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be replacing a normal switch like this, and we're going to change it. We're going to put in this. Now this one, I might add, this is what you call a three-way switch. It can be actually controlled by two separate switches. It could be controlled by this switch, and it can also be controlled by another switch on the opposite wall. So it's very important that you know if you're a single pole or a single switch or a three-way switch. And this one is actually three-way. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this cover off here so we can actually get in here and take this switch off. But before you do anything, you want to make sure that your power supply is off. So we're just going to leave this light on right here so we know it's on. I'm going to go to the circuit breaker box and turn off the circuit breakers so we know it's off. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out the screws in this cover right here. Okay, now that we have this off, we're just going to take these screws here out. Now we know our power supply is off, so we're not going to worry about that. And we're just going to pull a switch out so we can gain a little bit of room to the back of it. Okay, now normally with a three-way switch, you can see it's a three-way because you have all of the additional wires here. You have one which is your power lead coming into the switch itself, and we have the other two which are actually travelers. They go from this switch over to the other switch, and of course we have our ground right here, which is our bare wire that just connects onto here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to unscrew all of these. I will point this out to you too. The way you know which one is your traveler and which way is your actual power line is the screw. See how that screw there is black and that one is more of a shiny color. This black screw here is the power lead that brings power into this switch here. So all right, let me grab a screwdriver and then we're going to take this apart. Okay, so now we're just going to unscrew these to take these wires off. And then you can just take your needle nose pliers and you can just take your wiring right out. We're going to turn our switch over this way. We're going to remove our ground, and we're going to remove our other traveling wire. Now I will point this out to you as well. If you don't remember which wire is which, it'd be a good idea at this point, before you disconnected anything, mark the one that we know is going to be the one that's the power lead, and this is our traveler, because we don't want to mix them up. Remember, we took them off just like this. So now we know this one with the black, because both wires are black, so you don't want to mix them up. All right? We'll take off our other wires, and okay, now what you're going to do is first thing to do is you reconnect your ground wire first, and remember the ground is that bare wire that's inside the box. So we're just going to take this and wrap it around just like this, and we're going to take our wire nut and screw a wire nut on the top of it and screw it down all the way. It's nice and tight. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing with this one here. Okay, so now after we have our ground connected, we're just going to take this and move this up a little bit. And now we're going to take our two traveling wires, which is the red and the red with the white tracer, and we're going to reconnect these wires. And the last one we're going to do is our power lead or common. We just wrap this around just like this. We hold it back here with our fingers. We take a wire nut and screw it over the top and screw it down as tight as you can with your fingers. And now the wires are joined really well together. We'll do the same thing with this wire right here. We're just going to move that for a second. We're going to put the wire around it just like this, hold it back here, and then you twist the wires around like this so that the wires are actually right on the end, right there, and they meet together. And then we take our wire nut, put it over the top like this, and screw it clockwise, nice and tight. And now that wire is secured. And last but not least, we have our power lead, which is this one here. Remember, we marked it. We're just going to put this over here out of the way, like that. We're going to take this off, because now we don't need this. This is our last wire to connect, so now we can't make a mistake. And then we take this one, put it around here, just like that. And you wrap it like this. You take your wire nut and screw your wire nut on. Nice and tight. And the last thing we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of electrical tape like this, and we're going to wrap it around here. This is just as a safety precaution so that it doesn't accidentally come off. And now what we do is we take our dimmer switch, and we're going to take these wires and we're going to push these wires into the back of the box. You can see that this switch is slightly deeper than the other one, so we need to make sure that these wires in the back of the box are out of the way so they don't interfere with the box when it goes back in. So we're just going to place these wires in here. We're going to test it and see. And as you can see, it should line up pretty well. Now let's just put our two screws back in here. We're going to take our cover, put our cover back over the top, just like that. And then we'll catch those 4 screws in there. Okay, and that's it. Our switch is done. Let's go turn the power lead on, or the circuit breaker, I should say, and then we'll come back and make sure it's okay. Good. Okay. Okay, and now if we did our job correctly, we should be able to just turn this on, turn our dimmer up, and the lights came up nice and bright, as you can see. They go up and down just the way they're supposed to. Now we're going to leave it all the way up. This switch here controls it to turn it off and on. And now we're going to go to our second switch on the other side of the wall to make sure that that one works correctly as well. Okay, that's our other switch. And that works just the way it's supposed to. So we're going to leave it on, and then we're going to go over there and make sure we can turn it off at that switch. And that's it. Everything works perfectly just the way it's supposed to. All right, so putting the switch in is fairly easy. Just make sure you mark your power lead or your common, as they call it. When that power is coming in, you want to make sure you put a piece of tape on it so you don't make a mistake. Remember what I said about when you're disconnecting the switch, you look at the old switch and you'll see this is copper colored, and this is more like a blackish copper color, and that is where your power lead comes in, and the other two, the red and the other black, was actually your traveling one. It switches power from one side to the other. All right, and that's it, you're all set. Make sure you put the ground wire back on, because that's just in case there's ever a short in there. It'll kick the circuit breaker off and you won't have a problem. And that's it, we're all set. All right, so thanks for watching, and as always, my two helpers here, they're working pretty hard today, as you can see. They had a rough day. That's it, we're all set. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.